It's lovely to see you all. Good evening, and welcome to TV Burp. Strictly fans in agreement about Sweetest Man as celebs return to face judges.
We need more people like Postman Pat!
Susanna Reid shocks Good Morning Britain fans as she takes swipe at Anton Deck over NTA wins. And Corey Simon Gregson causing ghost hunters to his Cheshire mansion.
Now, Simon, keep Scooby and Shaggy away from your fridge.
Tenable now on ITV, and the team who was playing in this episode was Keith's Lemons. Why's the team called Keith's Lemons, I hear you ask? Well, according to team captain Keith, he describes his family as a bunch of lemons. I'm not too sure. Let's have a look at the team. They're just ordinary human beings. They don't look like lemons at all. Anyway, let's meet the team one by one, shall we? First of all was Luke, who was a health data analyst. He was doing a lot of work with cancer at the moment, in and around patient experience, and kind of understanding how people were getting on and ways to improve it. Mind you, it involved a lot of surveys. But it's okay, because Luke knows what to do if it gets a bit too much. When a patient comes to visit him and tells him their problem, he could just say to them, "Look, I've got my hands full already with all these surveys. Go and see a different health data analyst. Go on, clear off. Shoo, get out of my sight." And then indeed, the patients will clear off and visit a different health data analyst. It's as simple as that. Next was Reese, who ran his own private fitness facility in Canary Wharf. "Reese, it's not private anymore because you've mentioned it on national television." But I like the idea of a fitness facility in a wharf for canaries. After Reese was Sean, who was a marketing manager. Paid advertising. So she writes adverts. Imagine the job of writing adverts. For example, if the person who was showing the product, say for example, if it was a bottle of shampoo, right? And he or she would be reading the auto cue and saying, "Get this bottle of shampoo now." Oh! This shampoo stinks! I hate the smell! But I'm sure you'll love it. After Sean was Jordan, who was a web developer. He chose computer science because the whole artificial brain inspired him. It's a pity it wasn't the real brain that inspired him. It's not so good if you have an artificial brain. No, it's much better if you have an actual working brain. And last but not least was Team Captain Keith, who worked in IT. He was a data engineer, specifically building something called a data warehouse. You see, they put lots of data into their warehouse, and companies run reports against that data. Reports like, "You keep our data out of your warehouse! That's private stuff!" And, "If you don't give our data back, we'll report you to the police!" Now, I'm going to let you have a go at one of the questions that was featured in that episode. And while you do that, I'll be solving puzzles in this puzzle book. Good luck with the question. Oh, hello. Sorry, I must have dropped off. The puzzle I was doing in this book was so difficult, it tired my brain out. So I fell asleep. And that puzzle was, name 10 words you can make out of the letters in the word Tenable. Keith's Lemons won at the end of the episode. Woo! And they walked away with a prize of £8,000. Double, woo! University Challenge now on BBC Two. And the teams who were competing in this episode were Gonville and Keys, Cambridge, and St Andrews. Come on! Win for Scotland! But I thought the team captains from both teams had very misleading surnames. I mean, look at them.
Abigail Tan from Gonville and Keys doesn't look very tan to me. And Joseph Cryan from St Andrews doesn't look like he's crying.
I was surprised to see a killer whale in the studio in this episode of University Challenge.
Quick! Get that killer whale back in the sea!
There were also tricky papers in this episode. What I mean is, one of the questions went like this. Almost 12 million in number, leaked documents published by the International Consortium of Investigative Journalists in October 2021 exposed the secret offshore accounts of prominent figures. They were given what collective name after a figure from Greek mythology? Joseph said it was the Paradise Papers, but that was the wrong answer. Jasper Morn from Gonville and Keys said it was the Prometheus Papers, but that was also the wrong answer. The actual correct answer was the Pandora Papers. Who'd have thought it? That reminds me. We have a tricky sheet of paper in the studio. It's under the desk. Do you want to see it? You do? You see, I'm scared because, tricky paper can be aggressive. So, come on, up you come. Whoa, settle down. There you go, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls. One sheet of tricky paper. I told you tricky paper can be aggressive. By the end of the episode, Gormville and Keys had 120 points, but the winners with 140 points was St Andrews. Yes, they won the episode for Scotland. Whoa! Bargain Hunt now on BBC One, and this episode was taking place in Devon. That's right, the county of cider pressing, lace making, glass blowing, and of course, scones where you put the cream on first and then the jam. Natasha Raskin-Sharp presented us with another centuries-old trade from Devon. Well, one of its tools. Let's have a look.
That's right. It's an ancient pizza cutter.
Of course it's not a pizza cutter. No, it's actually a wheelwright traveller, a gadget used to measure the circumference of wheels for carts and carriages. You see, when wheels were made of stone, wood, and iron, it was the job of a wheelwright to make and repair them. By the 19th century, the industry was thriving. When the horse and cart was replaced by motorised transport, the call for wheelwrights declined. But one wheelwright survived, and it was the one with the name that was directly related to their profession. The name of that surviving wheelwright was Greg Rowland. Here he is, look.
Hello, Greg. Nice moustache.
The red team and the blue team were shopping in Heel, in Exeter. Whether it's in the foot of Exeter, I don't know. But anyway, they were shopping in an antique centre, packed to the rafters with goodies. Well, that's what they say. Let's meet the teams. First of all, the red team.
Right, so they're both married. Mark's a postman. Nice job. And Amy is a legal cashier. Oh, thank goodness she's a legal cashier. If she was an illegal cashier, she would have been stealing all the money.
And now, here's the blue team.
Okay, another married couple. Varen is a solicitor. Very good. And Mike is an artificial insemination technician. Well, that's no good. I was hoping he would be a real insemination technician.
As ever, both teams were given 300 quid. And their mission? To find 3 items to take to the auction, in the hope of winning a profit and this episode of Bargain Hunt. The red team bought a collection of 20th century lead soldiers, a novelty miniature trumpet, and a pair of colourful chairs. Here are those items.
As I say, those soldiers are lead soldiers. They were led to this antique centre. Oi! The Queen Ant will be looking for that trumpet. Here's a new tongue twister for you. Red chair, yellow chair, red chair, yellow chair, red chair, yellow chair, red chair, yellow chair.
Those were the red team's items. The blue team bought a Crown Devon musical jug decorated with a bicycle, a silver-plated Walker and Hall toast rack, and a pair of Edwardian silver candlesticks. Let's have a look at those items.
Now I've told you what I meant by decorated with a bicycle, you're probably thinking, I thought that rung a bell. I now propose a toast to the find of that toast rack. Because those candlesticks were the last thing on the blue team's list, their day was brightened up.
6 very nice items. But the winning team by the end of the episode was... the red team! They won a profit of £178 for the chairs, which was sold at the auction for £340. The red team will be celebrating with dinner at a fancy restaurant. But it's okay though, because the blue team didn't leave empty-handed. Oh no, they won a profit of £10, so they could celebrate with a dinner at Greg's. As those chairs were the winning items, let's have another look at them. Yes, a red chair and a yellow chair. 2 chairs I'd happily sit on. They're both good. But which is better? The red chair or the yellow chair? There's only one way to find out. Fight! See you after the break. Come on, red chair! One red chair right here. Oh! Welcome back to TV Burp. Body SOS viewers seriously distracted by contestants' appearance. Tipping Point fans fume as Ben Shepherd announces utterly useless prize. And Married at First Sight UK's fans in shock as Thomas drops huge bombshell and quits the show. Renovation Nation now on Channel 4. And in this episode, we were introduced to a mansion called Campbell's Fourth Hall, which was built in 1690 by architect and craftsman John Etty. At its height, the house boasted 5 grand reception rooms, 2 kitchens, 10 bedrooms, and 6 bathrooms. But in recent years, its once stately rooms have been leased out to private tenants, and it was close to being placed on the Heritage at Risk Register. And when I say private tenants, I'm talking about the members of David Tennant's family who don't want to be known by the public. Naomi and Byron wanted to turn the mansion into a stunning family home for themselves and their 2-year-old daughter Beatrix. Wait a minute. There's this great big mansion, and Naomi and Byron want to have it for themselves and their 2-year-old daughter Beatrix. For themselves. For themselves? The house is massive. They could fit their whole family in there. Not just them and Beatrix. Honestly, they're so selfish, those two. But anyway, they had a 20-year plan to restore the house to its former glory. But obviously, Channel 4 knew that 20 years is too long for a programme, so they had to cut it down to 45 minutes. But to fund it, they were going to breathe new life into the barns, some of which predate the actual house, and transform them into a wedding venue that oozes rustic charm. They were also going to be hosting a wedding showcase for their as yet unfinished venue in 6 months' time. So the only parts of the house that had been worked on so far were the ones that would support the wedding venture. Downstairs, there was a plush dining room and a grand staircase, which still had remnants of its past life as a private rental property. Again, it's not private anymore, because it's been mentioned on national television! But one of those remnants included fire exit signs, which Byron wanted to get rid of. Whoa. Hold your horses, Byron. Why would you want to get rid of fire exit signs? They're so useful. I mean, think of it. If there was a fire in the house, and you were looking for the nearest exit, you just need to look for a fire exit sign, and it'll show you the way. You don't need to get rid of such a useful thing, Byron. You should have thought twice, man. Didn't you learn about fire safety at school? Or watched Fireman Sam? Obviously not. Of course, it wasn't an easy job, but the end result of all of Naomi and Byron's work was an absolute triumph. So, woohoo! And they all lived happily ever after. New tricks now on drama. And the episode we're going to be talking about is while looking into 3 mysterious disappearances, the team believe there is a serial killer on the loose. Do you remember that episode of New Tricks? Boulders, cornflakes, and muesli. Gone! Mysterious, isn't it? As you know, New Tricks is a police drama. And, working for the police, it's not much fun, is it? Because you're so busy looking into all these crimes and mysteries. Not many laughs or smiles in that job, is there? So, I was pleased to see that Jack Holford decided to bring some smiles to the job by coming into work dressed up as Mr. Bean.
The name's Halford. Jack Halford.
I was surprised to see that someone had painted a red spot on a fish.
Look, it's a red blobfish.
When the team were visiting DAC Donald Bevan in his office, it looked like his stone fountain needed a wee.
Oh, you beauty. That's the stuff. Oh.
And finally, at quite near the end of the episode, the Invisible Man paid a visit. And now for a picture that represents our TV highlight of the week.
TV highlight of the week.
Hooray! A portable toilet in the woods.
TV highlight of the week.
This was Trucking Hell on 5 Action. Hello? No! I said Trucking Hell, not the other one. Anyway, I was saying, before I was rudely interrupted, in this episode, a tanker had gone adrift on a golf course in Essex. Yes, it had come off the unmade path and had sunk its very own hole-in-one. Let's see the person who's going to rescue this truck.
Okay, her name is Mary Newham. Well, not so new if she's been on the job for 12 years and rescued over 14,500 trucks. And her age, old enough to know better. Those are going to be tricky birthday candles to find in the local supermarket.
Yes, it was Mary to the rescue, and when she was on her way to the emergency, she got a call saying there were now 2 trucks stuck on the golf course. That's going to be a big problem for Mary. Because, right, this rescue mission was at night time and was on a golf course, so it'll be dark. But not necessarily. Mary and the crew did have some light. As they were on a golf course, they had a glow-in-the-dark golf ball to help them. As well as the lights from the trucks. Mary engaged the diff lock to try and get one of the tankers unstuck, but it was going nowhere because the ground was so boggy and muddy. Ugh. The second tanker was stuck fast, giving Mary a serious handicap. Like this one here. This cap is not serious, but it will be handy for keeping my head warm. My head's not cold at the moment, but I'm gonna wear this cap anyway. There we are. Mary had to drive her own truck down the path towards the stuck tankers to pull them out of the mud. She managed with some expert manoeuvring. Thank goodness it was expert manoeuvring. If it wasn't expert manoeuvring, she would also get stuck in the mud. Watch this scenario, and you'll see what I mean.
Alright, make a bit, Mary.
Come on, keep going. A little bit more. Zzz. Hey! Wait, get off, fly. Shoo, shoo, shoo. I'm trying to guide a big truck towards some stuck tankers. So, buzz off. Oh. Now look what you made me do. That's it. Have this mud ball. Oops. Sorry, Mary. I wasn't aiming at you. I was aiming at that pesky fly. You see? Thank goodness it was expert manoeuvring with none of that. It wasn't an easy job, but she saved both tankers from the mud. Woohoo! When the ground dries up, the golfers can use their golf course again, without any mud or trucks to get in their way. Well, that's all we've got time for. So, let's have the song which I think should be the Trucking Hell theme song. Yes! To sing us out, it's the Not the 9 O'Clock News team with I Like Trucking!
You must wireless. On the road. You can listen to the wireless. On the road. You eat cafe food with pride and throw it up outside. The greatest chicken trucking out from knocking down a biker, swinging up a roundabout and picking up a hiker. You're chatting up that piece of skirt who's sitting by your side. Then pop the crucial question: a ride for a ride. I like trucking. I like trucking. I like trucking on electric truck. I like trucking. I like trucking. If you don't like trucking, tough luck.
That's all from us. Good night.
The ball that makes this life worthwhile is waving off the car behind.